Hey you guys, my name is Jocelyn and I'm a color consultant at Sephora Fashion Square in California. Today I'm going to show you guys how I created this look. It's a little monochromatic, it's a little matte, it's a little unruly, so it's very me. I was inspired to do this look by my red hair and I'm going to use the Anastasia Renaissance palette to create this look. So stay tuned, sit back, and watch. Alright you guys, I'm fresh faced and I'm ready to go. Before any great makeup comes skincare. So first I'm going to start with my Youth to the People Age Prevention Superfood Cream. This is one of my favorite moisturizers because I have really sensitive skin. It's very lightweight, gentle, and it doesn't irritate me. Living in LA, it's really important to be cautious of all the free radicals and environmental pollutions. So this guy is really going to target that and help me out being an LA girl. Now I'm going to go in with my Origins Ginseng Refreshing Eye Cream. This morning I woke up and my eyes were feeling really irritated, very puffy. This guy is great for depuffing the eyes. It also helps to target dark circles, which is something I definitely encounter when I have a late night. Now I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. Right away you're going to see that this immediately smooths all over the skin. It's really going to help to reduce any pores, any fine lines. And I love the fact that it's slightly pink because it's going to help to brighten, but then it still dries down to a translucent matte. It's wonderful to pair with your favorite matte foundation. I'm also going to prime my eyelids and my concealer, and I'm going to use Benefit Cosmetics Stay Don't Stray 360 Degree Stay Put Eyeshadow Primer. This is going to act as a primer for my eyeshadow and also for my concealer. And I'm just lightly pressing underneath my eyes where I would place my concealer. And this is also in shade light to medium, so it does come in other shades. It gives you a little bit of a color correction and a little bit of coverage, which I like as well. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my lids, making sure I take it all the way up to the brow line. I'm also going to take a little bit of the Sephora Collection Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. This is shade number 3, Fondant. And I'm just using a small amount just to give my eyelids a little bit of color correction. I know I talked about them being puffy this morning, so with puffiness sometimes comes redness. So I'm just giving it that little extra color correction before I go in with any shadows. So today, to create my eye look, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance Eyeshadow Palette. And the first color I'm going to be using is Burnt Orange. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my first crease color with this color. And I'm going to be using my brush number 27. This is the Pro Blending Sephora Collection brush. As you can see, I'm starting in the outer corner, working my way in kind of a windshield wiper motion. And I'm just following my natural outline of my crease, really building the most pigment on the outer corner. Once I place that product, I'm rotating the brush and I'm just blending out just to make the shadow a little bit more seamless. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, really making sure that after I place that product, I blend as much as possible. I really love this brush because it has a straighter end to it when you hold it in one direction, and then it's great to rotate to blend. This is going to act as a really great transition color when I go in with my second crease color. So for the liner, I'm going to use Marc Jacobs Beauty Highliner Matte Gel Eye Crayon Eyeliner. The shade that I'm using is Fine Wine. I think it's really cool that Marc Jacobs decided to make a red liner pencil. You really don't come across too many of those, so I was super excited when I came across this product. This has got to be one of my favorite eyeliners, especially for the waterline. That gel formula really keeps it super creamy and just glides right over the eye. And I'm just starting on the outer corner, working my way to the inner corner of the eye. Occasionally I'm just taking my finger and blending it out just so I can get that seamless blend. It's really your preference whether you want to do this with like a shader brush or a smudge brush. I just prefer to personally use my fingers. So if you ever have problems with your eyes being a little bit puffy or a little bit red, I really find that a great red liner is always good to distract from that. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my brush number 11. This is my smudge brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of red ochre And I'm just gonna lightly follow that line where I placed the liner. This is just gonna help when I go in and I use the same shade in my crease just to keep it all monochromatic. I'm also working my way in the inner corner. Using that liner, I didn't really take it all the way in, so you just wanna complete that line all the way to the inner corner of your eye. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna line the top of my eye with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. This liner is awesome because it's not super pigmented right away. You really have to layer and build with your strokes just to create more pigment. So if you're just starting off with liner or you're not really sure of your placement, it's definitely a great beginner liner. Don't worry too much about your placement with this, or if you feel like it's a little off or a little bit crooked. The lashes that I'm going to go in with have a pretty big lash band, so the majority of it's going to be covered. So you just want to get enough on there so that you're not going to see that lash band, but you don't have to worry about perfection. All right, you guys, so I've seen many of you ask for a full coverage foundation that doesn't feel heavy and doesn't feel thick. And it's here. It's the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid Matte Foundation. And I'm using shade Ivory. I'm just going to apply and start off with a very small amount. A little bit is going to go a super long way with this guy. So my whole thing is I really like a foundation to look very skin-like. I don't want it to be too heavy and I don't want it to feel cakey. This foundation is absolutely wonderful for that. It immediately blurs away any type of imperfection. And another reason for that is the brush that I'm using. Right now I'm using the Flawless Airbrush number 56. This brush is awesome to give you that airbrush finish. It also feels great. It doesn't leave you any of those kind of cracky brush strokes. For that super smooth finish, this product has tiny blurring microspheres that are working to help diffuse the light in the foundation, and it really leaves the skin looking absolutely flawless. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of color correction underneath my eye using the Makeup Forever HD Concealer in shade number R32. I'm using a very small amount just to lightly press in the areas that I see darkness. I'm still going to go over with concealer, so you really want to be careful not to pack too much product on there so it doesn't get cakey underneath the eye. I have super sensitive eyes like I've mentioned, and they're also a little bit dry, and I have a few fine lines in the corner of my eye. This product has little hyaluronic spheres inside it that's going to help retain moisture underneath the eye, so I absolutely love it so that my eyes don't dry out or nothing settles into those small fine lines. And I'm going to go ahead and use my brush number 57. This is the Airbrush Concealer Brush. Following along those same lines of my foundation brush, I'm just using this brush to lightly pat the product into my under eye, and it's going to leave it looking airbrushed out just like the rest of my foundation. So to continue that coverage, I'm going to go back with my fondant concealer from Sephora Collection. This is the Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. I'm taking the product and I'm just dipping, dotting, and then blending. Still using my brush number 57 from Sephora Collection. Right away, I'm really pulling it in a down direction. I don't want to take too much of it right up to the eye immediately because that's when I find it really cakes underneath the eye. And I'm very light to the touch. That way I don't disrupt the foundation that I've already set on my face. I also like to bring it up to the top of my cheekbone. This is also going to act just as a natural highlight. So to set all these under eye products, I'm going to go in with the Laurent Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Using brush number 79. And I'm just going to lightly press and roll. I'm not swiping because I find that my product really settles into my fine lines when I swipe. Pressing that product directly into the skin is just going to give a nice, beautiful set. This guy's awesome because it really helps to brighten the under eye as well. I'm also going to take a little bit of this powder and I'm going to run it down the brim of my nose and up towards my forehead. This is just going to act as a more natural highlight. And I'm also making sure not to forget those smile lines. Now I'm going to use my Sephora Collection LASHCRAFT Curler. I think it's really important to curl your lashes before you apply any false lashes. You really just want them to go in the direction of the lash. That way they're not sticking out forward. All right, you guys, I'm super excited to be showing you this. This is the YSL The Shock Volumizing Mascara in color Asphalt Black. Seriously, this is the only mascara I will wear if I don't have false lashes. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try to work it in as quickly as possible. And now my lashes feel so full and so beautiful. There's a huge difference that you can tell in between my two lashes. That hourglass shape is really going to give you that false lash look. And for the bottom lashes, I'm going to start by holding the brush vertical and just running it across my bottom lashes. And then I'm going to rotate just to pull that product out. If for whatever reason it just packs a little bit too much product or it catches on one of your hairs a little bit too much, you can just use your fingers just to lightly pull it off and just continue to build and build that mascara. The lashes I'm using today are from Sephora Collection's collaboration with House of Lashes. They're in Cecile Full Style. These lashes are absolutely beautiful. And to apply them, I'm going to use the Duo Brush On Adhesive. I love this glue because of the top of the brush. I think it's really important to make sure that you only get that brush glue directly on the band. This is really going to help to protect your lashes and also increase the longevity of them. These lashes are definitely full volume, but they don't feel heavy at all. I know for me, I love a big lash, but one of my biggest problems I run into is just having them feel so heavy and so weighted. So this is definitely a great lash for that if you love full lashes. I was lucky enough to have these guys fit my lashes, but if you need to, really check to see if you need to cut them or readjust them. I don't like to put my lashes all the way in the corner of my eye because then I find that it pokes me and bothers me all day. So I leave a little bit of space in the corner of my eye, and I'm just going to go back in and fill that with liner. So to complete that illusion of a finished band, I'm going to go in with Urban Decay's 24/7 Velvet Glide On Eye Pencil in color Black Velvet. I know this part can be a little bit irritating, but I think it's really important to make your lashes look as real as possible. So I'm just going to line the waterline of my top eyelid. You can go ahead and you can kind of press the lashes together to your natural lash. That way they're just more flush. And I'm going to take a little bit and I'm going to place it in the outer corner of my eye. I think that this pencil is great for this just because it is such a sensitive area and I already have sensitive under eyes, but it just so lightly glides over the eye and feels very comfortable. I have very small eyes, so anything I can do to really create that illusion of a larger eye is perfect. So now I'm going to go back into the Anastasia Renaissance palette and I'm just going to grab that same red ochre color that we use on the bottom lash line. And I'm going to use my brush number 14. This is my Pro Shadow brush. I like this brush because it's a little bit flatter and it's going to be great to really place in the crease. You guys are probably wondering why I saved this second crease color to do after I put on my lashes. I find sometimes I spend so much time blending, but when I'm doing such a large lash, a lot of that gets lost. So it's really good to see the full intensity of what you want that crease color to look like, which is why I did it later on in the makeup. I'm going to take that color and I'm going to pull it a little bit closer to my inner eye area. Like I said, I have a little bit of a smaller eye shape, so filling out that full crease really helps to largen my eyes. So I'm going to go back with my brush number 27, and I'm also going to go back with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Under Eye Powder, and I'm just going to use this to soften the edges of my shadow. Very, very lightly, I'm just dusting over this crease. I don't want to do it too harsh because then it's just going to get rid of that kind of soft cut crease look I have going. So I'm going to go back to my brush number 14, and I'm just going to lightly wet my brush. Using color Primavera, I'm going to lightly press some of this product on the center of my eye. This is just going to give the eye a little bit more dimension and reflect a little bit more of a highlight on the top of the eye. Putting a little bit of a highlighted color pop in the center of the eyelid really helps to enlarge the eyes. I find sometimes when I put too much of a dark color all over my lid, it closes my eyes out a little bit. So I personally love this just to open my eyes up as wide as possible. For my brows, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in shade Auburn. I really want to keep my brows soft and natural, but my brows are brown and my hair is red. So I really need to even out that color. I'm just using very light baby strokes to create natural hairs and using the bottom end of the brush to brush it out. I think it's really important to brush out that product as best as possible. That way not too much packs in one side or in one area. You really want that brow to have a gradient effect, so I'm keeping it very light in the inner corner of the brow and using a little bit of a heavier stroke in the outer corner of the brow. I also find that I have two different brow shapes, and like they always say, they're sisters, not twins, but I do like to redefine that arch, so I'm also building the center corner of my brow a little bit higher just to create that arch. So I've really been into the whole feathery brow trend going on right now. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I think a little bit of an unruly brow is pretty cool. So I'm going to brush it out and just kind of prep myself with the next product I'm going to use to hold this feathery brow. So I'm going to hold my brows down with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. This brow gel is completely clear, so it's not going to change any of the color. I love this gel because it doesn't leave you with that crunchy brow. It's just soft and gives it a nice gentle hold. So now I'm going to introduce you guys to my absolute favorite lip stains. This is the Sephora Collection Cream Lip Stain, and I'm using color number 25 in Coral Sunset. For me, this really completes the look. These are one of my favorite lip stains because they're infused with almond oil. I've never once had a problem with this lip stain. I can seriously wear it all morning to the night. So I'm going to start by creating an X in the center of my lip, just following my natural lip line, and then I'm going to work from the outer corner in just to create a fuller lip. I try to avoid the line of my lip until most of my product has gotten off my brush, just because these guys are super creamy and pack a lot of product. So I want the majority of that to be in the center of my lip. That way it doesn't kind of fall out that line of my natural lip line. The brush applicator is really great, and when you do that, it is a little bit easier just to line your lips because there's not as much product packed on it. I also took the liner a little bit under my natural lip line at the bottom of my lip. Everybody wants fuller lips, so this is my way of doing it. So I'm going to finish this look off with the Cover FX Mattifying Setting Spray, and I'm just going to do a spray in an X shape. This guy is great to complete this specific look just because I did use a matte foundation. This setting spray is great to finish this look just because I want to stay matte, and this is also going to help the longevity of my foundation. I really need my foundation to last all day, so this is really great to increase the longevity of my foundation. So I'm getting really close to finishing my look. I just want to touch up and zhuzh up my hair. So I'm going to go in with the Living Proof Full Dry Volume Blast. This is like an all-time secret favorite of mine, and I'm here to share it with you guys. This is how my hair gets big. And what I do is I just separate my hair, creating a line to the root, and I just spray a small amount, working my fingers into the hair, building the volume. I also like to cut down the center, the back of my hair, and just give a little bit of an extra spray in the back, just so that when it layers and it stacks, it continues to build. Really great for big hair. And everybody loves to smell good, so I'm going to go in with the Viktor and Rolf FLOWERBOMB scent. This scent smells absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite scents to wear out on a night out with friends or a dinner date. It makes me feel pretty and ready to go. Alright you guys, and that wraps up today's look. I hope you enjoyed watching. I really want to see you guys try and recreate this look. There's so many great palettes out right now that incorporate warm tones. I use the Anastasia Renaissance palette, but you guys could easily use the Too Faced Peach palette, the Huda Beauty palette. There are just so many great options to choose from, so go ahead and post your looks and all of your best selfies to the beauty community. I'm on there as Young Jossie, so I'm gonna be checking, and don't forget to click the link and like and subscribe. See you guys next time.